You know who else is going to be in a tight spot, Trish? Every single American, if this guy keeps getting his way with public health in this country. So this week, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was at the center of a maelstrom Thursday as senator after senator, including those who voted to confirm him, raised pressing questions over his public health agenda. This from PBS. So crosstalk and shouting ensued as senators, some of them doctors, demanded explanations for Kennedy's controversial actions in his first 8 months as the nation's top health official. Among them, high-profile resignations and firings at agents like the CDC, changing U.S. vaccine policy that would limit access for some Americans as the country heads into peak respiratory illness season, replacing a key panel of medical experts with hand-picked candidates and anti-vaccine stances. Undergirding the heightened scrutiny was a call for Kennedy's resignation from more than 20 medical societies and organizations, and a column from former CDC Director Susan Monarez, who wrote in the Wall Street Journal that her firing last week was part of a, quote, deliberate effort to weaken America's public health system and vaccine protections, end quote. Derek, did you catch any of the Senate hearings on Thursday?
Yes, I caught a few of them. Laughed at all the Democrats just slamming RFK Jr. and the medical people. Yeah, it's. I don't know what they're going to do.
Right.
I really don't know. Oh, we have a special appearance.
Photobomb! Hey there.
Hi.
I always like to have a visitor.
Go, Bubba. Go, Bubba. He just woke up. No, where was I? That just totally threw me off.
Well, yeah. So, it's at this hearing. He got grilled by the Democrats, and he also even got grilled by Senator Bill Cassidy out of Louisiana, a Republican, a medical doctor, and the guy who put this clown over the top in his confirmation hearing, even despite doubts, as well as Senator John Barrasso from Wyoming, also a physician who voted for this clown. During these hearings, he made many false or misleading claims on the efficacy of COVID vaccines, on the availability of COVID booster shots, on how many Americans died from COVID, on blaming school shootings on antidepressants, on vaccine safety, and on rural hospitals, among mountains of other BS to come out of Kennedy's mouth this week. Derek, did you find any of his lies particularly galling?
So, like I was telling talking to my wife the other day, her mother, rest her soul, was born deaf. She was born deaf because her mother, Grandma June, got rubella when she was pregnant with her. Mm-hmm. This is before the time of the MMR vaccine. So if those vaccines were 30 years earlier, then my mother-in-law would have been able to hear. So vaccines work. You don't see that many kids with chickenpox anymore. It's because of the chickenpox vaccine. That didn't exist when any of us were kids. And we all had to, deal with chickenpox, have chickenpox parties. If your parents were so apt to them. It's just the gall of this guy to claim these things. It's like, how far has the Kennedy clan fallen?
Yeah, well, the rest of the remaining Kennedy clan wants to be as far away from this guy as humanly possible, I think. You know what? So for all of the galling lies he told during his Senate hearing on Thursday, there are more galling lies coming down the pipe, apparently, because, according to Reuters, Kennedy plans to announce soon the use of Tylenol in pregnant women is potentially linked to autism, contrary to medical guidelines that say it is safe to use. This comes from the Wall Street Journal on Friday, citing people familiar with the matter. In the report, Kennedy will also suggest a medicine derived from folate called folinic acid can be used to treat symptoms of autism in some people. Uh, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration and leading medical organizations agree on the safety of acetaminophen, its use during pregnancy, and the information provided on the label. That's from the company Kenvue, who makes the brand name Tylenol. Tracy, um, anything on that?
I remember hearing the theory about Tylenol and autism a few years ago when I was invited to be part of a class action lawsuit. And it was as scammy then as it is now. What is next with him? I mean, are we going back to Leeches? And the thing that I really have to gather my thoughts on, because this is a parent, it actually scares the shit out of me. The way he continually is targeting autism and people with mental health issues and any neurodivergence. Because soon MAGAs are going to need a new target. Eventually, they're going to run out of ammunition, or basically they're just going to run out of people to deport at this rate. And so then they're going to be turning next to our kids. And, I don't know the current rates of autism in the United States, but having raised two autistic kids and knowing the community, there's a lot of them. And this talk where he is committed to bringing people in and taking your kids and bringing them into a camp, which he said out loud. I mean, this is where next? Where is he going to go next, and what is he going to take next?
Well, so it might not be Kennedy himself, but we can kind of see where this movement is headed if you look at what happened in Florida this week, where their state surgeon general, Joseph Ladapo, said on Wednesday that the state will work to eliminate all vaccine mandates, a move that drew condemnation from public health experts. This from NBC News. All of them, Ladapo said during a news conference as the crowd stood and erupted in balance. Ladapo said during a news conference as the crowd stood and erupted in applause. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Every last one of them is wrong and drips with disdain and slavery, he said, and also stated that the Florida Department of Health will work in partnership with the governor. Ladapo has previously railed against vaccines in Florida, saying that people under 65 shouldn't get the mRNA COVID vaccine, which contradicted, guidance from the CDC at the time. And during a 2024 measles outbreak in the state, he said that parents should watch for measles symptoms, but could make their own decision about whether to send children to school. He did not encourage vaccination. His announcement came as Florida Governor Ron DeSantis revealed the establishment of the Florida Make America Healthy Again Commission, which will recommend state-level integration of President Donald Trump and HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s MAHA effort. Trish, this guy, under no circumstances should be a state surgeon general, should he?
My favorite, and I'm gonna give credit to Stephen Colbert on this. And then, guys, I'm sorry I have to leave, but I will say this: that during this statement, when the Surgeon General is spouting all this stuff, says, "And who am I to tell a family or tell an individual what they put into their bodies?" And Stephen Colbert said, "You're a doctor. That's your job. Your job is to tell people what to put into their bodies and what not to put in their bodies." And so there you go. And one other thing, and he invoked God, that God would, be there to help you make your decision about what you're going to do with your family medical conditions. I'm sorry, I can't go with this. So I love you all, but I have to go. So thanks for the chance to speak my mind, and I'll see you again soon.
Thank you so much, Trish. We
you.
appreciate you being here with us this weekend, and appreciate your contributions. As always, the great Trish Whitcomb, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye. Thanks.
All right. So,
Real quick,
running long here, as we are prone to do, and had to let Trish go. Hope I get to keep you guys for a little bit longer, at least finish out our national stories this week here. That guy is scary, and let me tell you, I think Ladapo makes Kennedy seem sane by comparison, and that is quite a stretch.